Hey, I'm Jackie. Since last videos, we talked about 100K challenge and open a food spot in Ottawa. And today I want to share more about what we have done so far. Also, what the umami mean to me and what province it actually solved. So in the past 3 weeks, I have the few sales. In the first week, I got 3 orders and I total sold $232. However, in the second week, I don't have any orders. I only have one noodle sold. And in the third week, I have 5 orders, and total sales come to $346. So in the first week, I have 3 orders, and 2 of them are the returns customers. They found me since I start to do the pirates runs, and they come and try all of the different kind of beef noodle soup, also my breast pork, and they have one new customers. He also orders a different kind of my beef noodle soup. However, in the second week, I didn't do any marketings. I normally post one post on the red note, which share what I'm doing and do some advertisings. So in that week, I don't have any sales. But the good thing is, during the time I'm working in the kitchens, they have another renters. She saw I'm working on my food, and she got curious and she got one. Just want to try it out. So I got $15 on the second week. And in the last week, I got 5 orders, which have 2 orders are from the friend who come from Taiwan as well. And they just really love my Rofan, the breast pork. It is the best approval they can be for us the Taiwanese. And another 3 other orders, 2 of them are the return customer. Apparently they really enjoy my food and they keep coming back. I really appreciate that as the starting point. Have someone who coming back and supporting. This is something I really appreciate. And I got one new customer as well, which I really excited to share more about our brand, our values. So which brings total of past 3 weeks, the progress is $593. So that's 0.00593%, closer to my 100,000 goal. Well, it is the baby step, but every dollar counts, and it is good to see people start to recognize something new happening here. So let's move to the next point. What Gubahmi, the missions, and what province I want to solve. So I came to Canada around 7 years ago, and at first I'm really excited. I find they have so many varieties of the food. They have the Middle East food, Indians, fast food, Canadian food, of course, and they have a lot of the Vietnamese restaurants and few of Chinese restaurants. At first, I feel I am very excited about trying everything, but at some point, I start to missing home that I want to find some Taiwanese cuisine, and I recognize I can not find any. And that's the time I'm thinking we have good food, why we don't have any restaurant here. So I start to cook some, and I learned from different recipes. I consult with some family members who have experience running restaurants, and they are very kind and share with me their recipes. And I start to thinking that I really want to share this to more peoples. And then COVID hit. In the COVID time, it's really tough for everyone, especially the restaurant, the food business. People are not allowed to dive in for a period of time. So we don't have options by cook at home, or we need to pay extra monies for takeout or the food delivers. So if you have experience on cooking, you will know it's very hard to cook for only 1 or 2 people. So I normally cook for at least a pot. Normally the recipes come with 4 to 6 people, and I will prepare everything, and I keep some in the free refrigerators, and sometimes I frozen it, and you can just heat it up in the next day, very quick and easy. And yes, I want to make 100,000 and open a store one day. But beside that, I want Gubahmi to be the bridge, the place that can bring Taiwanese cuisines like Taiwanese Beef Noodle Soup or Fan, the breast pork, to be some world famous dishes, just like Japanese ramen or something that really representables. So like I said earlier, one day I want to open a restaurant, which means I don't have any restaurants. How I cook my food then? So actually right now I'm working in the commercial kitchens because in Ottawa the home-based kitchens are not legals to cook and sell. So you must either rent a commercial kitchens or you need to find a place to be approval by the health departments. There are a couple good things to work in the commercial kitchens. First is you don't need to have spend a whole bunch of monies upfront, and they have a lot of different renters, people making cookies, people make the cheesecake or different kind of business. You can share and learn from others. You can ask in like where they sell their food, which is one of the most important things at begin. They also save me a whole bunch of monies because if you want to have your own spot, rent a commercial kitchens, you only need to pay by hours or the spot you rent. If you need to open your own restaurants, they can cost easily go to hundred thousands. But they also have some downsides, which is they are tend to be costly compared with if you run the full-time hours. The kitchens you only after you buy all the equipments, you only need to pay for rent and utilities. But for the commercial kitchens, they charge by hours. The more you work, the cheaper it will be. But for me, I only work depend on inventories, so they can easily go to a couple hundreds up to thousands just by working few hours a week. And after I prepare my food, the next most important question is where I sell them. So right now I build a website and I sell them on Shopify. I have my own landing page, have a blog. I update what I have and I take the pictures by myself, make the introductions, how to heat up the food, write the about us and everything. And Shopify is great. Like they got everything I need. At some point later on, when I go to the farmer market, I still able to just using them by a POS machines. I can use them to check my inventory and I can see how many peoples are viewing my product. And they have a whole bunch of the app I can choose from. I still figure it out. They have so much functions, but so far is simply they have a couple options, Square or Shopify, and I choose Shopify because I try and I like their brand and their head office used to be in Ottawa. So my current business model is I make the food and I cool it down and make it to frozen as soon as possible. And then I ship to my customer. They make the orders during the week until the deadline at Sunday. And at the Monday, I ship to the customer Storefront. The customer can just heat it up at home. At begins, I also try to do the serve it when it's hot, but I recognize it is not very convenient for me because I need to stay in the kitchens the long hours, which mean the higher cost for me. So slowly I develop to make the frozen format, which customer can heat up easily at home whenever they want. Every Monday I collect all the orders and I pick up the orders in the kitchens, the freezers, and I check the distance and I arrange my time to ship. Currently, I set up the orders need to be $60 to get the free shippings or need to pay $5 for any order under $60, which I believe is fair, especially the gas price can be a pain in the ass. The next things is how I promote my business. I got a couple of places to do the advertisings. First, I use the Facebook and Instagram, and I also use the Facebook, the Taiwanese group, and I also making the post on the Red Note, which mostly the user is Chinese, and I pay for the Facebook and the Instagram the app once a while because I'm not really good at filming the advertising and taking the good pictures yet. But that's one of the things on the list. I need to learn or find the professions how to do it right. Some people may wonder, oh, how the packagings work. So right now I use the sous vide grade BPF free plastic bag that safe to use on the food, and that's why I can use them on the water bath to heat it up, and they work great for me. They don't have any weird smell, and they are safe to reheat and one time use. And right now I'm working on the labels. At some point I will need to send my product to the lab to have the ingredient list. Right now I just being honest to list up what ingredients I use. I make my own labels by myself, use Canva, and also I make the heat reheat introductions. I used to pay for the illustrators to draw a couple of my food, but apparently right now the AI and ChatGPT, Sora, they are really great on doing this job. So I may just try to use them to make. And they have still have couple things I still figuring out. I follow couple book I read to price my product, but I still haven't find the balance. Where should I price the product? I don't want it to be overpriced or people will just say like, oh, I buy this, I only spend this much in somewhere else. And I want it to be reasonable but also profitable. And next thing is I also want to know, I still figuring out, should I focus more on figure out the new customer or also work on work close with my existing customer to hear their feedback and I can improve myself for my current product or the coming product. Based on my feedback, I'm still working on adjusting the taste of my current food. And some customer have the feedback they love the food and they wonders it's possible to reduce the sweetness a little bit. For me, this is pretty much the Taiwanese food. They are considered tend to be a little bit sweet and salty at the same time, which is suitable to eat with rice. So I will consider to do a couple test run and to see how it goes. And what coming next is this year's I plan to join the farmer market that can represent my food face to face direct to customers. And I'm lucky to get into the Parkdale market this year's. Parkdale market is one of the biggest market in Ottawa if someone is not come from here or never been there. They are running in the summertime every May until October. And they have the night market every Wednesday since June. But beside I get into it, I still need to prepare for my insurance, some more equipments. After a lot of the fail and testing, I am introducing the Sanbeiji, the street cup chickens on our store. It is my personal favorite chicken dishes. Another really representable dishes that I want to more focus on. And especially in this tough timing, like I find everything the price is increasing, and take out or the Uber Eat, all of them are really pricey. I want to have some things that like convenience and they can bring you some comfort and you can just heat up at home with like less than 10 minutes. You don't need to wait for the Ubers. You don't need to wait for like groceries to purchase and cook by yourself. You can just take it out, maybe cook a rice and you wait microwave or heat it up the food and you can have the good melt at home. So this 3-cup chickens is actually the technique of cooking. You can use on any kind of portion you like. The most popular one is chicken, of course, but in Taiwan, people also use on tofu, use on merchant, or use on squid. Everything you like, you can just use this technique to cook. It's really tasty. I like to eat with the rice, similar with rest of our food. So if you want to try, just come to our website and have a look. And next goal is I want to be continue every week, have at least 2 to 3 orders, get my insurance ready, improving on the marketings, working on our website. So I hope this explain a little bit of what I've been selling the food with our storefront. If you are consider doing something similar, drop comments, tell me what challenge you are facing, or you have any advice for me. And next videos, I will be working on preparing the Parkdale, the farmer market, what equipments I'm looking for and what equipments I consider. Maybe I will testing couple more dishes. If you like this channel, consider subscribe, like, comment, and let me know. Follow the 100K journey.